Hey guys, Rapture here. Today I'm ready to talk about the whole entire Kiriko reveal, or whatever, and who's the new hero for Overwatch, who's Overwatch 2, I should say. She's gonna be the newest support hero in the game, and she'll be available on release. So this video is actually a response, or I should say an update video to my previous video about my concerns, but it's also just talk about like Kiriko as a whole, not just the Battlepass stuff as all. So hope you guys enjoyed the video. Let's go ahead and get on to it, shall we? All right. The first, we're actually going to watch the trailer for Kiriko, and so you guys can see how she actually plays out, etc. So let's go ahead and just...
For generations, my family has served and protected our city. By following...
Okay, before let me just say, like, this freaking music that... of the creators, of the devs, that when they got this video ready, is freaking, like, catchy as hell. It's just... It's really nice.
Traditional paths. Me? I made my own. Some of the old, some of the new. Okitsune-sama, minna o michibite.
Much better. Alright, so apparently, I'll get onto this areas, but notice how, like, there's some blue, some of their cards are blue in shadows, and some of them are yellow. And I'll give that in just a second.
I run with blades all the time. Come on, Shimada. Thank me later. Let the kitsune guide you. Mon wa hirakareta. Kari ga hajimaru yo. Can't change the world by following all the rules.
All right. I'll come back to this video in just a second when we discuss her kit. But we'll watch the season 1 trailer for the Battlepass season 1 trailer for Overwatch 2 to give an idea what's actually in it, kind of thing.
We're in this together, all of us.
Let's get this started.
Let's go smash some heads!
Let the kitsune guide you!
Oops. Wait that real quick. So, one, it just showed that, hey, both, regardless if you're a new player or not, you get Drinker Queen and Sojourn basically for free. Nothing, no grant or anything, you just get them right away. Now, for Kiriko, if you're a new player, you will have to obviously burn the Battlepass for it. But if you're a returning Overwatch 1 player, for any reason, whether you get the Battlepass or not, you will get a Kiriko pretty much instant unlocked as well. So.
Okitsune-sama, minna o michibite.
Whoa, hold up. That's he has a hang bar. That's amazing. I like that. That's pretty funny.
It's all connected.
Impressive.
Let me just say, like, this whole entire, that's actually hella cool. That's actually really cool. I like that. This whole entire skin is cool. I also like how the mythic ones are going to be fully customizable, essentially. So you can have different color palettes. You can have the face closed or the face away, or the face open or whatever. It's going to be pretty cool. I like that, actually. It's going to be that's just some of the layers I guess have shown so far. But those are just different examples because I don't think we've ever had a customizable skin before. We've never had that before in an Overwatch, but we do now. Junkenstein's new one! Got a new one, boys!
The world could always use more heroes.
This is not the end.
Ladies, gents, give Blizzard Team 4 a round of applause here. Well done. Alright, let's go on to our actual kit now, since we're on it now, kind of thing. Hold on. Yeah, here we are. Alright, so, here is the blog post, in terms, at least the screenshot that Blizzard released of how our kit actually works. So, there is Protection Zuzu. Upon impact, allies in the area will become briefly invulnerable and are cleansed for most negative effects. Okay, I actually like the cleansing of negative effects here, but apparently it also only do you get invulnerability and everything. And here's the thing. Here's what I get really concerned about the invulnerability, because we already have one in the game, and that's BAP. And I just feel like there could be a lot of counts where they might have double and like double immortality kind of thing, and just by having on a cooldown. And apparently, according to Flats, how he said that yes, it's actually harder to hit, to actually land like well on in terms of the lamp does, because one, it's a much shorter duration, but it's all and whatnot. But I would so in terms of timing, it's more difficult. But I still have the concern that it would still get ult value from normal ability, and that's what I'm concerned about the most. So let's go to her other thing, which is her healing Afuda, which is essentially her cards. Channel burst of healing talismans that can seek a target ally. So you, as I mentioned before, there was a reason why I said to pay attention to the cards when that happened. Maybe you can find the right here. So you'll probably notice that there was the blue ones and there's the yellow ones. So apparently, according to Flats, when he and a bunch of other content creators went to the NDA summit thing, Majiggy, he mentioned that the blue is the ones that aren't targeted, and the ones that are yellow are the targeted ones. So you'll probably notice that if you look at the clip here, look at how the yellow ones are immediately going to Genji, and these ones are completely missing. And there's a humongous gap between anybody with the blue ones. So the blue ones are like the untargeted ones. The yellow ones are the targeted ones, essentially. And apparently they're actually, because of how, and they actually do some bursts, but they're incredibly slow. If you notice, that speed of them are actually hella slow. Like, they were very slow, right, from what I could tell, and whatnot. So let's see on anything else.
I run with blades all the time.
Okay, so now her kunais. Her kunais are actually interesting because, one, if you look here, they actually, I mean, yes, they do. From what Flats said, they said they're about as fast at being able to. The fire rate, I believe, the projectile speed is about as fast as Xenorb. I want to say, maybe a little faster than Xenorb in terms of the speed of projectile itself. But here's the thing, though. So here's the thing about her knives, if you will. So her knives do about 40 as a base damage, so like 40 in the body, but it has a 3-point headshot multiplier. Which would make it 120, which actually sounds pretty insane, but apparently they're actually really hard to hit. So it's actually, which actually pretty much says that this support hero has a very high skill ceiling, especially mechanically, which is actually pretty awesome, at least in terms of damage output. Let's look at another thing. Apparently he even said that Flats even said that ML7 had some hit them consistently. Taking into account how hard they actually are. Just either if you only hit them in the body, you're doing absolutely nothing. If you hit them in the head, you're doing tons of damage here. But yeah, there's a skill ceiling for this hero is pretty damn high. Now Swift Step apparently is GA, but it's pretty insane compared to GA. So it's not like GA where you can, from what he said, is that where you can actually like gliding past your allies. You just teleport behind them, so it's actually really easy to fuck up if you mess it up. Like it's really like you're very easy punishable apparently, but it's pretty insane if you do hit it. Now I will say about the protection thing. So apparently, if we go to protection, so protections usually is like a tossable bell that detonates on impact. It cleanses net effects, stats effects, and provides a very short CC and damage and vulnerability. This will most likely be used against anti-heal, not that there is multiple antis in the game. Yeah, I can definitely see that happening. Although there is one thing I'm a little concerned about, and I'd have to agree with, and I've also seen Samito's take on this too, and I would actually agree with this. Now, Samito wasn't actually at the summit, but he did have some concerns that I'd actually share, and that is the fact that yes, it may be hard to hit initially if you're not really used to it. So, but the thing is, like, timing isn't necessarily in terms of timing. Anyways, it's like that's more of like a small part of what makes a hero skillful kind of thing, and so. I would say that once you get to high tier players and even Overwatch players, this might be a little bit overpowered. I think also being able to stack 2 types of immortality, whether it be with lamp or that, this can be really actually very insane. But it's like, well, there's also something. But people say, well, what about Zarya bubble, for instance, right? And I'd say that is true. But with Zarya, we can actually break it. You also have the risk of making Zarya high charge, but you can still break it. I'm not sure there's not really, you can't really break anything of here. It also depends on how long it is. It doesn't seem to be very long at all, but it's still. I would also say that it's also concerning to say that well, it's you can't really break anything like a bubble or anything like pop a bubble like you would Zarya or anything like that or whatever, and it could just be, this could be really broken, especially when you're double stacking mortality field. But also Vlad did say that, hey, that seemed to be the least concerning part of our kid, surprisingly, at least the least powerful part of it. So it may be fine, but I would say that if my opinion, at least on paper, it does sound bad with the whole entire invulnerability. But I'd say if the invulnerability is too much, I would say make it just take away the invulnerability and just make it where it'll cleanse your CC and whatnot. But it may not be as broken as people are that I'm thinking it might be, or even Samito was thinking. So just be aware of that. Now her ultimate is called Kitsune Rush, and apparently it's some of Fox Spirit that rushes forward, accelerating the movement, attack speed, and cooldowns of allies that follow its path. So think of it like I've never played a WoW, but it's essentially haste. So it's like you're faster, you attack faster, and your cooldowns recharge a lot faster. But it doesn't say by how much though. But to get an idea, I could go from like, say if you're like say just like finally, it's like boom, boom, boom. Normally, it's then when you're under her influence overall, it's like boom, 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 boom. Think of it like that. Like her cooldowns, not just fire, but her cooldowns, her movement speed, everything. It's faster. So it's which overall, because of that, would essentially increase the output of your DPS a lot. But not just your DPS, if that makes any sense. Not because it increases the number of each shot, but because it increases the rate of the fire, for instance. So this is actually pretty powerful in hindsight, and it's good that's an ultimate and nothing else. And she does have a wall climb passive like Genji and Hanzo. Now if we go to more details, can she? Now one thing I will say is that's actually insane. Because if you can go through walls, and I think going through walls might be a little bit of a little overpowered. It's maybe not as many uses as GA does, but it has a pretty good capability. So this kit might be a little strong, but we'll see. In terms of our kit, I'd say that it didn't seem overpowered yet, but there are definitely some concerns, but not. But I'd say overall, from what you can see, a well-designed hero at our first look at it so far. Maybe not the immortality part of it even for a short duration, but still, regardless, we'll have to just play and see how it goes. Now let's see here. Let's go to the season pass, if you will. So, Surgeon Dungeon Queen, instant unlock for everybody, regardless if you're picking up the game for the first time then or not. Now for Kiriko, she's apparently free for all. She's completely unlockable like immediately if you've had Overwatch 1. As well as if you got about the Battle Pass. So that's one thing. So I think that if you've currently played Overwatch 1, you will get this here regardless, kind of thing. Imagined. So again, kind of going through the whole entire 5 PvP, 6 new maps, new push game mode, etc. Again, this is kind of like we knew this about this already. Now here's what is nice is that, hey, guess what? We have a new Dragonstein's event, not just the repeat of the same event for the past like 5 years. That's an improvement in my opinion. So now we won't get the same. We can still play the old one, but we have a new Dragonstein's Revenge game mode, if that makes any sense. Which is also makes it even better. Which is what people were kind of hoping for. I was a little worried about that too, a little bit. Not as much as anything else, but I was a little worried about this. Access to Overwatch 1 content. Of course, you get all the original 3-2 heroes, plus all the original maps. Actually, I'm not sure if the 2 CP maps are available in what do you call it, in the custom games. It might be like CS, where it's like, yes, they technically exist. They exist in the game, but they're not going to be in the normal game modes, kind of thing. It might be like how, for instance, you might see like Horizon Lunar Colony in Paris and custom games, but not any of the actual like the matchmaking servers, whether it be the quick play matchmaking or competitive matchmaking, for instance. But they still exist, kind of thing. Introducing the Battle Pass. Play the game, earn free rewards. Unlock new hero Kiriko, 2 epic skins, 2 souvenirs, 1 weapon charm, and 15 additional rewards. Now, but if you go premium, you get more rewards. You also get Kiriko as an instant lock, 20% faster season XP boost, the new mythic skin for Genji, which is this right here, 5 legendary skins, 1 epic skin, 56 additional rewards. And then for earn it and spend your way, you can also complete weekly challenges to earn Overwatch coins, which you can actually use to probably buy the next Battle Pass, by the way. But who knows how much they'll actually can get from it, if it'll actually be enough. New bundles weekly in the in-game store. So you can actually still get more bundles like how you would otherwise. So I could get this Widow one, for instance, right, etc. Now, for more details on said Battle Pass, there's actually more things to note here. That is going to clear up my 2 concerns of how the Battle Pass and system, how Battle Pass and hero, not system unlocks, hero unlocks will essentially work. So, one is that, hey, if I don't have the hero, can I still try him out in other game modes? You can, and that is in practice range, custom games, no hero limits, mystery heroes, mystery deathmatch, and other game modes, and as well as some special event game modes, depending on which ones they are, apparently. So maybe like if you need that hero for that event, like say you might have Dragonstein's Revenge with the Bride one, you might need Kiriko in that one. But if you don't have Kiriko, you'll still be able to play her in that kind of thing. When a new season features a new map, will the map also be part of the Battle Pass? No, new maps will be available for all players upon release. So which makes that great because it means queue times won't be super long. Will you make balance? Now, Keyman, they did say they will make most of the balance changes in this thread, mostly at the beginning of each season, but there'll still be times, hey, look, if this hero maybe is super overtuned, that needs to be addressed, then they'll still make those changes if needed, so kind of thing, right? How to unlock new heroes in the future after the Battle Pass ends. There'll be ways to earn the past heroes in future seasons. So everyone will have the opportunity to earn heroes by playing. So yes, you can still get the heroes even if you weren't have the game at the time, or you didn't grind that tier of to get hero in the previous season. You can still get the heroes, whether by doing the new hero challenges, or you can acquire them with Overwatch coins or whatever. So you can still get them. Now, of course, there's another question that I had about competitive play specifically, and that is new hero. And you won't be able to use the heroes right away in competitive. There'll be a 2-week period where you cannot use them right after the release, kind of thing. And then they'll be at tier 55, which may seem a lot, but looking at some of the stuff that I found and around about here, which is where your in-game challenges. So from what we can see, I'm not sure if it says from at least from going from tier 1 to tier 2 on the Battle Pass, it's about 10,000 XP or so. I'm not sure if that will increase. That's one question I do have, is that will it increase the higher every time you level up? Will that increase? Let's say if I'm at tier 3, will it be 11,000 for instance, instead of just 10? Will it be a flat throughout? And that's one question I do have about that. But I will say this though, at least on the weekly ones alone, it's about 5,000 each, and there's that's not even half the list. That's like at least 1, 2, 3, 4, at least 4 of them. So you have at least 8 what do you call it? 8 challenges you could use to get 5,000. At least 8 plus more, if you're accounting for like the fact that this is even half the list, right? But and that's just your weekly ones. Your daily ones might be a little less, I would assume. Your seasons one might be a little more. I would also assume the same competitive and lifetime. But also your hero ones. Now back into where it says you can still hear them and whatnot. I would assume that some of these hero challenges would be in this tab up here. It'd be added to your list if you wanted to get them, so you'd still be able to get them. And they did say up in the earlier in this blog post is that they didn't want to make it seem like a chore. They didn't want to make it seem like a chore, so they're making it easier to actually get to the to unlock each tier essentially. So that's actually covers my other issues, that hey, how would this be an issue kind of thing. That pretty much just shows that hey, my concerns have been pretty much been mostly, not completely, but mostly put to rest, if you will. So I'm actually happy for this. I'm actually very excited for Overwatch 2. Let me ask you guys, are you guys excited for Overwatch 2? Or you guys still think this is a little bit much? Do you still think this isn't the best way to do it? Let me know in the comments. I'll see you guys later. Goodbye.